Now let's choose an element which will hold our variable. So for that, I'm going to choose this repeating group. Let's first go back and give it a different name. This repeating group here, I'll name it my team. All right, now let's go back, and the element here would be my team, repeating group my team. Actually, it can be any one of those, or any element here, but I'm gonna go with this and define a variable, custom state. It actually means a variable, and I'm gonna define a new variable here. I'm gonna say my team. The name of my variable is gonna be my team. State name, my team. And the type of this variable will be users, and it will be a list of users. Create. Now the value of this variable is gonna be first repeating group my team variable. Repeating group my team has a variable my team which we just created, so that's what we're selecting here. We're gonna select that and then go to more, and we're gonna add an item, plus item here. Select plus item. And what are we gonna add to this variable here? We're gonna add current sales user. That's all. Now let's copy and paste this here. Now instead of saying this checkbox is checked, let's say this checkbox isn't checked. So when the person unchecks the box, what should happen? The value inside this variable my team should change, and instead of having a plus item, we should have a minus item, because somebody doesn't want that player. That's why he or she is unchecking the box. So what we can do is we can delete this, and we can go to filter right here, add a new constraint, and here we can say unique ID is not equal to current sales user unique ID. That's all. That's what we're gonna say here. So whenever the user unchecks the box, this command, this custom state command, is gonna remove the user from our variable here. This variable here holds a list of users, so when the person unchecks the box, that user is gonna disappear from the list. So let's go back to design now, and in here, for this repeating group here, let's give it a data source. It will be the repeating group my team, this variable here, like that. And there we go. Now what else can we do? We can make this group a bit bigger and add a button here, a button to save all the players inside our database. Save my team. So when this button is clicked, what should happen is this list of soccer players, which will be in my team, should be saved inside my database here. And for that, I'm going to create a new field for my user database. In my user database, I'm going to create a new field that says my team. And this field type would be users, and it will be a list of multiple entries like that, and create. Let's go back to design. Now double click on this button, start edit workflow, and here we can say when button save my team is clicked, we have to make changes to a thing, and that thing is the current user. Let's change a field, and that field would be my team. Now here we have two options, add or add list. Let's say add list, because with add we can add one thing at a time, and with add list we can add an entire list together. So let's click on add list here, and let's select repeating groups my team, list of users. That's all. So all the people who appear on this repeating group are gonna be saved in your database. And then let's refresh the page. So we're done with that, and one final addition. Let's say when there are no players in the list. For that, let's have a text box here. I will say you have not added any players yet. All options and bigger font, center. So go to conditionals for this text box, and here let's define another condition. We can say that when repeating group my team list of users first item is empty, then this element is visible. Let's define another condition. We can say, let's copy this expression, paste it here. Just one additional change. Repeating groups my team's list of users first item is not empty. We're not gonna show this text. So only when the first item is empty, only then we're gonna show this text box here. All right, now let's go to preview and see how it looks like. Well, that's how it looks like, and it looks pretty ugly, and I know why. Let's go back to design, and here for the parent group, we'll click on it, and let's make it fixed with element. Here we go. Let's go back and refresh the page. All right, this looks good. First, let's see if our function works. When I click on this user, nice, it appears here. Click on Donald Builder, appears here. I can see that every person is builder. I think there's a problem with that. Let's go back. Let's see where the problem is. So instead of saying current sales user, we said current user. So let's say current sales users name. That's it. Also, let's give a serial number here. Click on it. Let's say enter dynamic data, current sales index. This will give us the serial number of this repeating group. And reveal the style. Increase the font size to maybe 18. Alright, let's go back, refresh the page. Okay, now we have different last names here. Let's add Joe Builder. Nice, Joe Builder appears here. And that's the first player. Donald appears here, that's the second player. Oswald appears here, that's the third player. We can also remove some players, let's say Donald Duck. Happened here. Oswald, Donald Duck again. Let's go back. Donald Duck is gone, and Oswald is also gone. We can add Popeye. So this thing really works well. Now, one last thing I don't like is the scroll bar here. It doesn't really look good. So I'm gonna hide it, and I'm gonna show you how one simple way to hide it. Let's go back to the design, and we can see that the scroll bar appears on the edge here. There is some distance between these elements and the scroll bar here, and the same here. So we're gonna find a way to hide these two scroll bars. Let's go back, and in here, let's have a shape. Goes from here until part. It's alright if it also covers the it goes outside the repeating group. Bring it to the front, and let's give it the same color as our background. And that's F000. That's it. That's so this shape here, shape A, it covers the entire region here, so it will cover the entire scroll bar. Let's copy and paste it. This scroll here. Alright, that's it. It's on the edges, it touches the edges. Looks good. Now let's preview it again to see the changes that we just made. Press the page. Here you can see the scroll bars are gone and we can still scroll down the page. This looks much better. It's a very clean user experience and looks much better. I really like it this way. And we can select the players, we can unselect them, and that's what happens. So that's how you make a list in the repeating group, which you can add or delete. And let's test if our save team function works. Let's click on it. Alright, it's refreshed. And now let's go back to the database and see if the players were actually saved. Let's go to app data here, users modified. Let's look at my team. Save. We were logged in as Bob the Builder. And we can see that all the 3 players were saved in this database of Bob the Builder. Alright, so that's it guys, and that's how we make a feature in which you can store data from the repeating group into another repeating group and then to your database. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll come back with more videos soon. Stay tuned.